It wants to go a bit there with the leaves. Right folks, so welcome back to another video. Hope you all had a great holiday break. Happy New Year. I thought I'd kick 2023 off with a first drive in the MK8 in its stage 3 format. Now I know it's been a few weeks since we had all that work done at MRC Tuning, but I've tried to hold myself back and not push it too much off camera. So hopefully today we should get some first impressions done. But what I'll do now is I'll get the bonnet open and give you guys a quick recap of all the bits on it. Right, okay, we have got a bonnet strut. That's the first major mod, let's say. Right, so MK8 Gen 4, it's got a continental based turbo, which is very different to the old IS38. Now in stage 2 format, this car made 458 PS on 99 run, and it made around 484 with some help of some octane booster. In the grand scheme of things, it's very strong numbers for a standard turbo. That was like hybrid level on the Mark 7s. So it's not like it needed more power, but of course for the video series and just testing purposes, we've now got a turbo Technics hybrid turbo on there. That is a prototype, and with that it made 519 PS on 99 run and 536 PS with the help of some octane booster. So just by changing the turbo out, we've got an extra 60 PS across both fuel types. Now we have got an even Cheery intake. We've also got a DO88 intercooler, and we've got a Cobra Sport turbo whack exhaust which has an OPF delete. We haven't got any fueling upgrades on it currently. It's a stock low pressure pump. It's also the stock injectors. These later MK888s, even from the OPF Gen 3s, they all have 4 injectors, so it doesn't have MPI, but the high pressure fuel pump on the Gen 4 is a lot more capable. I haven't really discussed the fueling element with MRC yet, but for now it seems all good. The main issue we had really was turbo surge, which you saw in those dyno shots. So because of that, we had to cap the torque lower down. It's still making around the low 600 Newton meter mark, which is what the stock turbo could do, but it does come in later. So we'll see what that's like on the country roads. In terms of chassis and handling mods, the main things we've got are the new speed RSC 10s, the 18x9 ET40, and they're wrapped in Goodyear Eagle F1 Super Sports 245/40 all round. Turn this thing on now. Semi-cold start. Now this turbo does make quite a cool sound. It's very whistly and reminds me a lot of a full frame setup, even though it's just a hybrid. You'll get an idea in a second. I'll give it a few revs once it's warmed up. It does add a bit of character to the otherwise very questionable sounding MK888, but I'll get some GoPros hooked up now, and yeah, let's head out on the road. So here we are on some familiar country roads. We're in the stage 3 MK8. It's whistling away, making all sorts of cool noises. Now before I get into my thoughts on how it compares to a stage 2 setup, make sure you do subscribe to the channel if you are new to it, or if you're a regular viewer and you have already done so. It definitely helps a lot with future projects, working with companies, all that good stuff. Whilst we're just cruising here, I think I'll get one of the main metrics out of the way, and that's the 100 to 200 km/h time, because I know you want to see how it compares to stage 2. Like I said, I haven't driven this much, but I did go out on one evening to the Autobahn and get one done, and straight off the bat it did a 7.28 seconds. That's a full weight car. There was stuff in the boot, black bags, all sorts of junk in here. So a pretty quick car. That's on the 535 PS map, which is what we're driving on today. It's around a second or so quicker than when it was at 450 PS, so I think it makes sense. MK8s are quite heavy now, but that time is basically the same as like a stage 2 Dazza, and that's around the same power, 525-30 PS, so it all makes sense. Give it some here. Traction is in sport. My God. Let's launch it here uphill a bit. I want to see how it gets going. There's no one behind us. Right. Hey, freaked out a bit there, but it sounded cool. What a violent little car. There's turbo. Oh, I love prodding around the gas and making all sorts of, well, provoking it and making it do weird noises. I do it with the RS3 all the time. It's nice to see you can do a bit of it with this. Also, you got the DQ381 box, so it won't do like a hard limiter noise, or, well, we don't even have that option anyway because we're a non-performance pack. We haven't got that sorted yet in the tune. Yeah, a bit apprehensive to fully let it go there, because obviously once you let it fully go, it's flying. It's interesting bringing it on a country road. I haven't done that yet, because the one thing about stage 2 was it's very punchy low down. It had low 600 Newton meters, which is what this has, but it came in around 2000 RPM. This pretty much comes in around the 4 mark. Arguably, it could be said that it's a bit safer. I'd be like, if I floor it, now it gets going. I quite like it because it feels more old school. Yes, we had to do that because of the surge, but going to a different turbo, you're likely going to have increased lag. Right, that's individual, aka don't ruin everyone's day mode. Valves closed, but you can fully hear the turbo now whistling away. I really love it with the exhaust valve shut. It's almost unhinged above 5k. Look at that, it's like spinning. Above 4k is ridiculous. It is genuinely ridiculous. That was doing all sorts of funky stuff there. Magna diff thinking, where's this extra 200 horsepower come from? The issue you've got nowadays is that cars have gotten so quick, even in the hot hatch segment. Like, you've got M140Is chasing supercars, that people have gotten spoiled for performance. So say this is a 7.28, you look at that and probably think, oh, it's alright, but when you actually drive it, they don't feel slow. It's like a stage 2 RS3 Daza. It's not a slow car. And yes, everyone chases tenths and whatnot, and I have no doubt that once this has been fine-tuned, you gotta remember this is a prototype hybrid turbo, get it dialed in, it'll get into the sub 7s. And often what happens is you can never really be satisfied with what performance you have. That is quick. Right, let's launch it here through the forest. It reminds me a bit of my GTI now at stage 3, but obviously with 4-wheel drive. Even Chewy makes a lovely racket. Now there is one observation I've made. With stage 2, because the torque came in a lot lower down, this thing will go sideways at any given opportunity, even without the drift mode, because this is a non-performance pack. Now because the power's coming in later, this car almost feels safer or less fun. That's another way to look at it, because I used to love prodding it and it used to just kick out very controllably. Now if you're a right angle turn and you floor it, it's gonna just grip. Let's boot it and first see what happens. See, it's like hunting all over the place for grip. I just felt like the back left wheel there do something. Obviously the Magna rear diff is very cool, but rather than it just swinging out progressively like it did before, now there's obviously lag, and then the power comes in, and then it's just like all hell breaks loose like that. I do feel like I could do some better brakes now though. These do feel a bit squidgy. It's the best way to describe them. Typically on VAG cars you had a really harsh pedal and then it just dies off, whereas this you have to like really stamp on it like that. Doesn't feel like there's much feel. Even change the fluid as well, but still. Valves closed is so much better. So much better. You can have a fair bit of fun at 30 mile an hour. This is what I need. You can still get a little bark from the exhaust, don't get me wrong. It wants to go a bit there with the leaves. So I just need to figure out what exhaust setup I can have where the valves are open to allow for full proper breathing capabilities, because I don't really want to be driving around with valves closed with this kind of power, but also retaining that quietness. It was good on stage 2, but not now. It's my honest thoughts. Alright, let's try launching it in this bridge again. There's no one behind us. That is mighty impressive. Gives you a right kick and your neck gets held back. Imagine this setup on an Edition 45 on a roll, it'd be insane. I'd better do low sixes with a bit of E in the tank perhaps. Literally the main thing I can say for going to stage 3 is it's not just numbers on paper, it's the whole character of the car changes. To me, whether something's 460 or 520, you know what I mean, in a day to day you're not going to notice that, are you? But the character changes you will. So all this whooshing and etc, whatever you've heard going on. At the moment, this is all prototyping, so I can't really say go ahead and go for stage 3 on your Mark 8R because I'm still testing it on my car. So when we're done, we will let you know. But I think this is a good place to end today's video. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I will get you guys another set of driving impressions as we tweak it more. Now that it's New Year, places like MRC Tuning are now open again. That's the issue I've had for the last week or so. Can't really do much testing when places are closed. Also the turbo revision, I'm going to chase that up as well. But if you enjoyed it, drop a like on it. Also subscribe like I said. I need to get this overrun off as well. But yeah, that's enough rambling anyway. I'll see you in a few days.